What's going on, Isaias and Boaz here.
And Isaias.
And not only do we love talking about airsoft guns, which we do all the time on the channel, but we love shooting them.
No, absolutely. The old adage, practice makes perfect, rings 100% true for everything you do in life. Just like you would want to practice with your real firearms, getting proficient at them, same thing should be said about airsoft as well.
That's right. And as you can see, we're both in kit. So we have our plate carriers on, and this is a really great way for you, especially before hitting the field, making sure that your pouches are placed the same way, or the right way, or making sure that your magazine placement or how you conduct your reloads from your tactical gear, you get to work a lot of those kinks out. And also, especially with your airsoft gun setup as well.
No, absolutely. And we're using platforms too that we're not 100% familiar with either. Boaz, what have you got there?
Right now, for this video, I'm running the KLI SR4. This has a different handguard on it to kind of schmooze it up a little bit,
No, absolutely. I'm gonna doing the same thing here. I'm using a platform I'm not 100% familiar with either. This is the new Zion Arms R15 Mark II. A little bit of a sleeper, kind of went under the radar, but we're gonna be talking about it a little bit more. Honestly, probably one of the most comfortable AEGs I've ever had the pleasure of shooting. Fantastic trigger response, again, so much good stuff about it, but I also have it decked out with a bunch of accessories that I myself am not 100% used to. But again, like you said, I want to be able to develop that muscle memory, have the manipulation of this airsoft rifle feel second nature to me.
One thing that you will need is going to be something like this. This is
some type of target.
Like a target and a target stand. So this is, again, stuff that's readily available at your own home or easily accessible even just at a store. So right over here, I have kind of like that tin food tray kind of thing. Or historically, even for me, I've even used things like a pie plate, like a disposable tin
Heck,
pie
you can
plate.
even use paper plates if you wanted to.
But generally, you want to have like some kind of a smaller, reduced size target, because if you're in your own backyard, you're not going to have that much space. So if you can't make it up with distance, you can reduce the size of the target.
Cans is another great substitute as well.
100%. And then it's basically just duct taped here to a target stand. So the target stand that I'm using is literally just a photo stand, like a photo lighting stand. You can get it online for as cheap as like $10, $15 sometimes. Now, the reason why I chose the tin like food tray or like a pie plate is because it'll give you some audible feedback, letting you know like where you're hitting. As you can see over here on the halfway point of this tray, I marked it off black tape. So we're gonna try to aim just for the upper half. So just a challenge for us, we're gonna try to aim for that upper portion, even reduce that target size even smaller. Further. Yeah, so that's gonna make you or kind of force you to aim a little bit better. So we're not gonna try to judge ourselves on our accuracy, but we wanna at least try to aim smaller. So we're gonna be more deliberate with our shots instead of just spraying and praying, in the backyard. If you have a bigger backyard, obviously you can use also that opportunity to, let's say, zero your optic, dial in your hop up to some degree. So that will help you as well. But yeah, let's go ahead and run you some of the practice exercises that we do at home.
First drill we're going to be going over is probably going to be the easiest to replicate at home. It's going to be the ready up drill. The idea is to go from either a low or high ready position, acquire your target, get on target as soon as possible, and then take however many shots you want to do. I'm going to be doing 3 shots. I have a target set up at about, roughly say about 50 feet away. The point of this drill is not so much the speed, it's more so the consistency, and also, again, building that muscle memory of going from whatever high or low ready position and then being able to get on target as soon as possible and being consistent with your shots. But let's go ahead and get started, shall we? I'm gonna go from the low and this takes a little while to get used to. There we go, getting a little bit better. There we go, it's getting better. All right, so the idea is to not be super quick with it. Obviously, with time and repetition, once you get very comfortable and you're consistent with your shot placement, then when you can start working on speed.
I'm gonna add one more level of complexity to this drill, which I'm gonna take the rifle on safe, on the ready position, and then when I am ready to fire, I'll go ahead and flip it to semi. This will make me a safer airsoft player and, might not accidentally just shoot someone. It makes firing your airsoft gun way more of a deliberate action, so you don't get any accidental friendly fire incidents, which, Isaias, I'm looking at you. But let's go ahead and get ready for this. I'm gonna start here from the low, punch out, get target. Okay, fire 3 shots, back to the low ready, go up. Okay, go ahead and low ready again. Okay, now I'm gonna do the high ready. So I'm gonna go ahead and start from down here. Okay, down here. So what I'm looking for right now is I'm just trying to get a sight picture as fast as possible and try to make sure that the rifle is coming up to my shoulder right at the same time. Okay, so I'm out of ammo. I'm gonna go ahead and top off on ammo. And you can run this drill as many times as you like, but let's go ahead and try a different drill.
Next drill we're gonna be doing, and probably arguably the second easiest drill that you can replicate at home, is gonna be a reload drills. Now, reloads are very important on the airsoft field. If you're that guy that's fumbling around trying to find your magazine and put it back inside of your airsoft model, you're probably gonna get hit very, very quickly. So again, the point of this drill is not necessarily speed, it's to build up your muscle memory, being able to be comfortable with the platform that you're gonna be reloading with and getting on target as soon as you possibly can. Again, the speed will come later. It's all about building the muscle memory first. So I have my target set up. I'm gonna be shooting like about 2 rounds. Yeah, we'll do 2 shots and then we'll go ahead and do the reload from there. So, ready? I'm gonna go from the low ready position and that's pretty much all there is to it. It's literally one of the easiest drills that you can replicate at home. And again, the speed comes later. First and foremost, efficiency.
All right, so it's my turn to do the reload drill, but my reload's gonna be a little bit different than Isaias just because I'm running a gas blowback airsoft gun. So I'm not super comfortable just dropping the magazine on the floor because you might break the magazine and then you're out of a very expensive magazine. So what I'm gonna do instead is something called a tactical reload. So just to walk you through it, you can do this with AEGs as well, which is also a useful trick. So when I'm out of ammo, I'm gonna bring the gun into my armpit. I'm gonna grab new source of ammunition, and then I'm gonna trade magazines and put the empty magazine back into my pouch. You can also do this with a dump pouch as well. But I wanted to specifically practice this time just doing more reloads off of my plate carrier, because mostly for me, I'm very used to just reloading off my belt. So I'm gonna try to build proficiency with this session, you know, again, reloading off my plate carrier. So I have an empty magazine in here in the gun itself, so it's gonna run dry. Once it runs dry, I'm gonna do a tactical reload. It's gonna be a little bit slower, but I want it to be smooth and I wanna make it as fumble-free as possible. So I'm gonna start from the low ready here. We have the target, I'm out of ammo. Bring that, grab the new magazine, and put the old magazine back into my kit. Bolt release. For some reason, I don't know why I was in AG mode. That was pretty embarrassing. I'll try one more time. Okay, here we go. Okay, low ready, come up. Change over the mag. Try not to look at it, hit the bolt release. There you go. Okay, so we're gonna practice some more. Well, I need to practice more with this off camera. These magazines are shaped a little bit differently than what I'm used to with other gas block rifles, which is why I'm fumbling a little bit. So like I said, you know, you wanna build that consistency over time. There you go. Okay, the next drill that we're gonna practice today is going to be shooting on the move. So this is a little bit different than, you know, you making a mad dash to rush your opponent. This is a more of like a controlled, you know, stable shooting platform. So what I mean by that is, let's say like you're out here on the airsoft field, you and your opponent, you guys are trading shots, you know, behind pieces of cover. He ducks behind cover, and now you kind of are just kind of holding that space. You know, that's not a very effective way to maneuver on your opponent. So what will help is you come out of that piece of cover and you walk steadily while holding a consistent sight picture and then shooting to keep his head down so you can get a better positional advantage on your opponent. So we're gonna focus on creating a nice stable platform. So you're gonna have to change the way you walk. Instead of just, you know, making a mad dash for it, we're gonna roll from heel to toe, right? Keeping it as smooth as possible, so that way if your opponent decides, let's say, to stick his head out, you have the jump on him and you can easily tag him out. So we're gonna do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and start already rifle shouldered up, and then I'm gonna go ahead and move in a very controlled way. and shoot like that. You're gonna notice when you do this, regardless of how smooth you walk, your reticle is gonna start doing this, because naturally that's just how the human body moves. And so when that happens, you wanna make sure that every time when you're shooting at the target, when the reticle sways into your target, you take the shot. So that way you're performing more accurate fire rather than just you spraying a bunch of BBs downrange, hoping that maybe you'll get lucky. So we're gonna try that again. So rifle's already shouldered up. And obviously as you get closer, it's gonna get easier because you're getting closer to the target. But yeah, that's pretty much the walking shooting drill.
All right, we're gonna be doing the exact same drill that Boaz just demonstrated for us, really emphasizing the heel to toe, slower walk. Again, we are still gonna be moving a little bit. It might be easier considering we have an AEG and we don't have to really worry about recoil too much, considering it's an AEG. But still, we are still gonna be swaying from left to right. It's just how the body moves, it's fine. Remember, we're not going for speed, we're going for consistency. Speed will come with time and with practice. But without further ado, let's get on into it. You ready? And that's pretty much all there is to it. Again, just making sure we're emphasizing the walk itself, heel to toe, moving as slow as you possibly can and as controlled. And again, we actually did notice the more we slowed down, the easier it became. Same thing too, the closer you get, obviously, the closer you are to target, the more likely you are to hit it.
The next drill that we're gonna do is kind of similar to the cutting pie or the pie drill. If you guys don't know about that, it's a very basic CQB technique where if you're rounding a corner, you don't wanna just stick your head out. You're gonna kind of imagine that like you are the radius, like the corner itself is like the center of the circle, and then you're just gonna kind of orbit around it, exposing yourself a little bit at a time to get your target. So if you have like, terrain or obstacles in your backyard that you could use to do this, even better. If not, just like an open grassy area like most backyards are, just kind of pretend that the target is the corner. That's where, where you want to be shooting at. And then you're gonna try to create almost like a semicircle arc around it. This is a longer gun, so it's gonna be a little harder for me to do. But again, you wanna emphasize speed. Personally, what I like to do when I'm rounding corners is I turn my feet so that way I'm always walking forwards. I'm trying to avoid crisscrossing my legs like this because that's easy for you to get tripped up, especially at an airsoft field where there's a lot of just junk on the ground. You're gonna easily trip and fall and you might hurt yourself. So you don't wanna do that. So let's go ahead and just try that real quick. So I'm gonna have the gun up on target right now. I'm rotating my body and I'm about to rotate on this corner. Okay, so that's one rotation right there. And now I'm gonna go ahead and come back here from the start, and then we could do this as many times as we want to. So I'm gonna start already on the target. And as I come, there you go. So obviously, if you have something like an AEG that you could really spam the hell out of, you can do that obviously, but try not to focus too much on just dumping as many rounds on the target as possible. Try to make sure that when you are moving, right, when the reticle is swaying, is that try to time your shot so that way when it sways into the target, that's when you break your shot. That's gonna make you a lot more consistent and more accurate over long term. And also, just airsoft etiquette, man. It's not cool to overshoot other players. We're all here just to have a good time.
All right, so we're gonna be doing the exact same drill that Boaz just did. Again, not really focusing too much on the amount of shots that you're putting down range. We are gonna be able to do a little bit more because this is an AEG, but again, that's not the focus. Doesn't matter what platform you're using, whether it's AEG, gas flow, like ERG, doesn't matter. Trying to be as smooth with the actual pine motion as possible. And of course, like Boaz said, it's always good etiquette to not overdump someone, honestly. All right, that's enough talking, let's get on into it. Start off on target. And that's pretty much all there is to it. We're gonna do it one more time, just because why not? it's a fun drill to do. And again, as long as you have something in place, stationary, that you can shoot, this is a very easy drill to practice. And if you do have obstacles at home, whether it be trash cans, cardboard boxes, no matter what it might be, it's gonna make it a lot easier to go ahead and replicate. So, doing it again. And that's all there is to it. Very, very easy to do. And honestly, really fun. So this drill is also gonna be incredibly easy for y'all to replicate at home. We're gonna have our stationary target set up, but we're actually gonna be doing a little bit different, where we're not just solely staying in a stationary place per se, we're gonna be dropping to our knees. Now, pause. The reason why we're gonna be doing that is that when you're playing Airsoft on the fields, you're actually gonna be assuming a lot of different positions. Also pause. You're gonna be firing from multiple different areas. Sometimes you're gonna be crouched down, sometimes you're gonna be standing up. You never can really tell. You're just trying to get that shot down. So it's important to be able to quickly acquire your targets as need be, no matter what position you might be in. So have a target set up. I'm gonna go ahead and start off on the knee first. We're gonna go ahead and get our target set up, shoot, and then as soon as we're done shooting, we're gonna stand up, shoot again, and then repeat the drill over and over again. Again, speed comes with time. Consistency and efficiency are the most important thing first and foremost. So let's get this party started. We're gonna go on and take our knee here, and then we're gonna start again. Reset from the knee. Go back up. Restart one more time. Go back up. And again, accuracy will come with time, and so will speed. Again, the whole point is just to be comfortable being able to take the knee, come back up, and still be on target.
Okay, so I'm gonna do the kneel to stand drill as well. Now, you wanna do this preferably at distance. So, you know, as far as your backyard will allow you, because most likely you're gonna be assuming a piece of cover, right, on the airsoft field. You're gonna be shooting from cover, and then you stand up to get a positional advantage. And most likely the next thing you're probably gonna do on the field is you're gonna move. So this is cool because you can incorporate actually 2 practice exercises in one. You could start from the kneel, stand up, and then walk, stay steady, and shoot on target. Now the goal of this drill is so that way when you are shooting from the kneeling position to standing, you're gonna try to stay, you know, keep that reticle on target as long as possible. You know, so that way if your opponent decides to peek out and try to shoot you again, right, you got the jump on it. That is the goal. So I'm gonna go ahead and start here, piece of cover, go up, and go up. Okay, now we're gonna reset the drill, come down to a knee. Okay, go up. Okay, so it's even better if you have like some kind of barricade. Again, you have a piece of trash can. That way you could even incorporate like leaning out of cover, or like maybe kind of topping over a little bit, right? So you want to kind of simulate conditions that you would have on the airsoft field to, again, build that muscle memory, make it a lot more easier and comfortable and more second nature to you as possible. So I'm gonna do this one more time. And this time I'm gonna incorporate walking while shooting and staying on target. Okay, I'm gonna take a side step like I'm stepping out of cover. All right, so again, show you, you can incorporate 2 drills into one if you want to make it a little bit more complex. This is a ton of fun, you know, not a lot of pressure, you know, so this will give you a really good opportunity to fine tune your movements, your kit, how your rifle is set up, a lot of that. And personally for me, with this final drill and everything that we did today, obviously shows me that I need more practice with the KLI SR4, and also even the way that things are set up. I think I might change some of the locations where I'm mounting things like my flashlight, my PEC box, and maybe even change out the optic. But obviously, I learned all of this from practicing, from actually shooting the gun and putting it through different scenarios, so that way I know what the SR4 is good at and what it's not so great at, the way it is set up. And so obviously that will translate to better performance for you on the airsoft field. Thank you guys for sticking around and checking out our video on some of the things that we like to do at home in order to make us better or more proficient airsoft players.
Absolutely, these are things that we've been doing for years. However, if there's anything that you guys like to do to make yourselves better or more proficient airsoft shooters, let us know down in the comments section as well. Very curious to hear what you guys have to say, or maybe some feedback that you can leave us as to how we can improve even further.
You want to be able to be proficient enough with your airsoft setup so that way basically make your airsoft setup a non-factor as to your performance out on the airsoft field.
No, absolutely. Or even the placement of magazines or other equipment you might need. You don't want to be the person that's struggling on the field to find your speed loader to reload your magazine, and then you end up getting killed because of it.
Yeah, and this is something that you can not only can do by yourself, get a group of friends, like doing that in a team environment with your buddies. It's super fun to do. It's very chill, it's very relaxing, and it's an all-around great time. I always enjoy it whenever, even when we get together and do something like that, it's just fun to do,
Team drills are always way more fun.
Yeah, but with that being said, if you guys like what you're seeing, please make sure to hit that subscribe button down below, and to make sure to like the video and ring that bell icon to get notified every time we drop new content.
If you guys want to support the channel directly, the most direct way to do so is to get all your airsoft goodies from AirsoftGI.com. Remember, any orders $179 or higher will automatically qualify for free ground shipping.
That's right. And of course, at AirsoftGI.com, everything you see here, including the airsoft rifles that we're using and the accessories, they're available at AirsoftGI.com.
Absolutely.
And a lot of times they're offered at pretty insane deals.
Insanely
so make sure
discounted.
not to sleep on it, because a lot of these deals are limited time only. But with that being said, thank you guys for watching. My name is Boaz.
And Isaias.
We'll catch you next time, Mayo Gang.
Take it easy, guys.